All right, we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage, curtain calls, rumors, dramas. We talk about inactive statuses and injury updates. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions. We talk about promotions from WWE to AEW to TNA to Ring of Honor. If it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show, 1,010%. So make sure you guys, click that like and subscribe button to the show so you guys can get nice a lot of notifications whenever we decide to go live, so you guys could tune in live. Also send in your chats inside that chat box, so this could ultimately be our podcast as opposed to just my podcast, because I hate to just come up here and just be yelling at the mic for an hour straight. So I would definitely love to hear what you guys have to say. Alright guys, so we recently got done talking about some WWE SmackDown. We talked about Monday Night Raw. And now we're going to talk about some WWE Survivor Series. Of course, before we do any of that, make sure you guys hit up that tips and donations link. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. And we can get into a nice little conversations. Alright, WWE WarGames in Vancouver, Canada took place on Saturday. And it was good. I thought it was great. Overall, I thought it was ultimately one of the best pay-per-views that WWE's had in quite some time. I definitely liked it how there was, there was a couple titles up for grabs. That's something that obviously I've kind of, thrown a little shade at WWE for quite some time, to be like, hey, why do you, why can't you be more like AEW, where you can have every single pay-per-view? Because that's how it was in WWF/WWE for the longest time, where every pay-per-view would be like 8 or 9 matches. The WWF Hardcore, the WWF European Intercontinental Championship would be up for grabs. The Women's Championship, you would have a lot of matches and stuff like that. But obviously nowadays it's different. So maybe that's just the old school wrestling fan in me being a little upset that WWE kind of they don't have more than 7 matches per PLE unless it's SummerSlam and WrestleMania, and then you have to kind of split it into 2 nights. But overall good Survivor Series WarGames, I gotta be honest. All right, so first and foremost, the match, we have the Women's WarGames match. Rhea Ripley's team defeats Team Liv Morgan. Obviously, Team Rhea's team, the team of Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Bayley, and Naomi against Liv Morgan's Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, and Tiffany Stratton. This was Io Sky's 6th WarGames match. Obviously, it showed that she was going out there, kind of throwing her body, threw caution to the wind. She went out there and she was kicking complete ass. I definitely love that trash can backflip. That was a nice little spot. She was completely badass. I definitely love that. The implementation. I gotta be honest. For the women's matches, I love the fact that they want to appear, cutting edge and innovative and something new, introducing weapons inside the WarGame structure. But just so many bad missed spots, man. I gotta be honest. There was a lot of times where I saw the girls kind of looking to get hit, and it wasn't like moments before they got hit. It was seconds, and in wrestling, seconds are minutes or hours, and it's just I don't know. I love the thought, but it was very poorly executed. And obviously the fans got a good kick out of it. Obviously a huge example that I could, think about right off the top of my head was, if you remember during the match, and obviously if you watch the Women's WarGames match, maybe you could relate. Nia Jax had the steel chair. And it was so funny. She had the steel chair and she hit Bayley, and Bayley was even like this, and she was and then she hit, she just taps her. By all means, you don't want to ever injure you don't want to injure the wrestlers, the superstars. Yeah, that works. But if it's gonna be that and I don't want to sound I don't know, if it's that soft or if it looks that fake. I would kind of just be okay, then just don't have a steel chair. But instead, and then she attacked Naomi. She gave her a chair shot and it was like, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it just looked like, if you watch the match, maybe you could, maybe you understand, you know, where I'm coming from in that. And there was a spot where I think it was Naomi. I think it was Naomi who did a drop kick to Nia Jax, who the steel chair was literally like, she was literally holding up the steel chair to her own face. Like she was on, you know, she was playing like she was like days out of it and completely out of it, because literally like the chair was kind of slipping off her, and obviously to fix the spot, Nia Jax, she like literally, but no, she propped it up to the point where it looked like she was literally setting it up for herself to get drop kicked in the face with the steel chair. Like, and it was just like, I don't know. For me, like, it was a great match. It was a great match. But just, you know, those couple of little things, I got to be honest, I was kind of like, oh, you know, all right. Like, you know, it's cool. Like I said, you know, it's cool. It's innovative. It's cutting edge to have these women go through these, you know, different kind of matches that involve weapons. But, you know, sometimes if it's going to look like that, like, don't even implement any weapons, you know, and it's, I'm not trying to say that to be like a jerk. I'm not trying to be like, oh, these girls going to go out there and kick ass and entertain the fans or try their hardest. I'm just saying, like, you know, if it doesn't look like it fits, like why do it? So it's better not just to do it. So I don't know. Overall, it was kind of crazy. I definitely, I liked how Tiffany Stratton contemplated in her Money in the Bank cash in. It was a little awkward, but at the same time, it was, you know, it was kind of what it was, where, you know, her kind of questioning her loyalty to Nia Jax, kind of looking at Nia Jax lying down there on the floor during the WarGames match and having like these Vietnam flashbacks of her treating her like crap, undermining her, grabbing her by the throat, treating her like crap. And, you know, looking at Liv Morgan to be like, okay, like, I can attack Liv Morgan, but literally, like, I would have so much heat on me because she would be literally all by herself. Because, you know, Liv, she has Raquel, she has Dominic, and then she has the Judgment Day. You know, she has the Judgment Day. I can't really say that with a straight face. I love the lingering tension that they still kind of had between Io Sky and Bayley. Obviously, those two don't see too much of each other because they're on separate brands. Rhea Ripley pins the WWE World Women's Champion. I like that. I thought it was great for Rhea, but, you know, everybody knows that Rhea Ripley will dethrone Liv Morgan for that championship. You know, and it's kind of just more or less, you know, it's the question of when. But, like, if you wanted her to completely, cleanly pin Liv Morgan, I gotta be honest, you know, you saw Raquel Rodriguez, you know, she was handcuffed to the rope, so she was like, oh, Liv, no. Like, so it clearly shows that without Raquel Rodriguez, much like what Liv Morgan has been within the majority of her career, she's not really that good, you know. And I'm, like I said, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be a Liv Morgan hater. But every single time she's defended and won the match, you know, her title successfully, you know, it's been, you know, a little muddy. The waters have been muddied. You know, it's been, you know, then been like a, you know, distraction or, you know, a cheat here and there. Like, I get it. Like, she's the heel, so in turn that kind of, you know, that works for the heel. They're supposed to win that way. But I don't know, Liv Morgan, I was never really a believer to begin with. She's getting better inside the ring. I feel like she's not botching moves too much. But I don't know, she can't defeat Rhea Ripley. And everybody in the world knows it. It's just a matter of time until when she loses that championship. And it's going to get to the point where, you know, Liv Morgan, if it wasn't for Raquel Rodriguez, if it wasn't for her, you know, for her uncanny ability of kind of getting lucky, I don't think she would ever kind of make it up to the main events, you know, spectrum again. Like, you know, maybe, you know, Intercontinental or United States Women's Championship, I can buy it. But as a main eventer, you know, all the respect in the world throw to Liv Morgan for all she's accomplished. Obviously, not, like I said, not trying to throw hate. But I don't know. I just don't see it. You know, I ultimately think she's a better chaser than she is a champion. You know, where she's, you know, she gets all the, you know, with all the momentum, you know, trying to claw her way up to the top, and then once she's kind of up there, you're kind of looking at her matches like, oh, you know, I don't really believe that. But I don't know. Overall, I thought it was a great match. It was, a couple poor spots, but, whatever happened, what happened. WWE United States Championship match. Shinsuke Nakamura defeats the LA Knight, who's been undefeated ever since July. Nakamura bringing his uniqueness that he learned back when he went back into NOAH. Bringing back that Japanese-style wrestling. And, Shinsuke Nakamura, he went mainstream. He went to WWE. He kind of lost what made himself successful to begin with. You've seen it with Stephanie Vaquer. You've seen it with Julia. You've seen it with Zarya on NXT. A lot of these outside kind of wrestling promotions, WWE, excuse me, people who wrestled outside the WWE spectrum, they come to WWE and they kind of have this new innovative style of wrestling. And that's something that Shinsuke Nakamura had at the beginning of his career, where he won the NXT Championship, where, United States Champion, where, he won the Royal Rumble, this new Japan professional wrestling style. And then WWE kind of WWE-atized him. I know that sounds weird, but, and then he became like, he became all like clean and like he, started pandering to the crowd a little bit. And that's not what Shinsuke Nakamura is all about. And Shinsuke Nakamura established himself, getting back to his roots. He even said, through, confusion, through frustrations in your current career state, you meditate on it. And he said he became a whole different person. Obviously, we see the new WWE United States Champion kind of staring you in the face right there. Braun Breaker retains his WWE Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus. Ludwig Kaiser. Sheamus was so damn close. It was crazy. Kaiser obviously unloading on Sheamus with the shillelagh was actually kind of funny. But ultimately, Braun Breaker was able to hit the spear for the 1-2-3. Gunther retains his World Heavyweight Championship against Damian Priest. Damian Priest obviously left for dead. Instead of Finn Balor kind of coming back and, starting this whole new, not new, they rekindled their feud. They rekindled their rivalry. What comes with Finn Balor is the Judgment Day. So those episodes of WWE Monday Night Raw where you would see Rhea, where you would see Damian Priest laid out in the ring multiple times after WWE Monday Night Raw went off the air. So us as wrestling fans, we have that to look forward to. Maybe a little bit of boring, maybe a little bit of repetitive. For me, I feel like, after this, if Gunther would have pinned Damian Priest cleanly, and then after the match you kind of have like a handshake or something like that, and then you send Damian Priest to Friday Night SmackDown, I would have been okay with that. But now this whole Finn Balor thing and Damian Priest, I think it's bad for Damian, and I ultimately think it's bad for Finn Balor. I got to be brutally honest. So, I'm not a huge fan of how that kind of played out. In the main event, we saw the men's WarGames match. We had the original Bloodline going against the new Bloodline. I definitely love the fact that Jey Uso came out last. I thought that was pretty cool. Jey Uso looked absolutely phenomenal. He should never, ever, ever, ever be heel again because that was just stupid. There was a couple of moments in the thing, obviously the awkward moment between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. This was interesting. This was interesting because this could also be Roman Reigns kind of did it for a reason. He knows his team better than CM Punk. He looked at the Usos and he was like, you know what? They need Sami right now. They don't need you. They have a way better chemistry with Sami Zayn as opposed to CM Punk. So for that, I could see that happening. But from the outside perspective, from somebody, who watches WWE here and there, they probably saw this happening and be like, oh, he was just being a Roman Reigns. He never changed. He's a control freak. He's the tribal chief. By all means, he still gives a little vibes here and there. I'm not trying to, discredit that in any way, shape, or form. But, this is, when this happened, that's what I thought. The moment came to my mind, I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense because Sami Zayn and the Usos, they get along, better. But I also, I thought about it too. I was like, oh, damn, look at Roman Reigns telling CM Punk, be like, no, No, B, sit your ass down. You'll come out whenever I say you come out. Obviously that thought occurred to me as well. But I thought it was a decent spot. I thought it was ultimately great. Obviously, at the end of the match, you saw them, kind of coming together. It took Paul Heyman to literally come out and be like, guys, you need to work together. You bring out the best of each other, kind of being that proud dad thing, rooting on his sons or something like that. But I don't know. It was kind of crazy. It was an interesting match. It was great. I definitely loved at the end of the match where you saw Solo Sikoa literally model. I think it was Michael Cole or it was Corey Graves saying it. How Solo Sikoa, he was the Judas. He kind of turned his back and started his own little thing. Kind of undermining Jay, Jimmy, Sammy, Roman, and it was fitting that he was the last one to get pinned. He was the one kind of being targeted at the end of the match, kind of then Roman Reigns be like, change your ways. He would have accepted Solo back into the group, but Solo's supposed to be like, no, I'm the tribal chief, and then bam, then obviously all that happened. Another highlight spot was, Jimmy jumping from the top of the WarGame structure. Also, Bronson Reed goes through the table after CM Punk saves Roman Reigns from disaster. So, all in all, I thought it was, it was great. It was a great pay-per-view. And, you definitely give it a rewatch. All right, my winners and losers of WWE Survivor Series. First, we got the winners. We're going to talk about Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, obviously, like I said before, she comes out here a winner. She comes out here a winner because she has not cleanly pinned Liv Morgan due to circumstances, obviously, with interference and stuff like that. This was huge for her to get this pin, just basically to kind of reiterate, kind of resurface the idea that this title's mine. This WWE World Women's Championship is mine. It has never not been mine. The only way that Liv Morgan continues to be successful is from outside interference. Once again, this match proves that, that's exactly what's going down. Another winner, we got Io Sky. Io Sky heading into her match with Liv Morgan, building up momentum. She looked absolutely impressive. I feel like this WarGames match was a great way to kind of succumb her name, kind of solidify her name in the main event status. Also kind of solidify her name and throw her name around the inaugural. Who's going to be the inaugural WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion if she does not definitely, defeat Liv Morgan for that title, which she probably wouldn't. It really makes sense to have that kind of happen on Monday Night Raw for storyline purposes and stuff like that. But this could definitely be a way for Io Sky to kind of solidify her name and kind of cement her legacy as maybe the future inaugural WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. Also, Shinsuke Nakamura today won, guys. Shinsuke Nakamura and WWE, I believe, both won. Because people had speculations. They were wondering why Shinsuke Nakamura dethroned the LA Knight after LA Knight has been absolutely on fire. Shinsuke Nakamura, he has an event planned on NOAH January in 2025, where now he's going to be repping the WWE. And with WWE's new implementation of the WWE NIL ID program, the next in line independent wrestling circuit to try to draw younger wrestlers, this is great for that because now you're going to have him fighting internationally, and people are going to be like, oh, WWE. I feel like Triple H, Paul Levesque definitely wanted to have that in his back pocket to kind of be like Shinsuke could represent the WWE and kind of show that, Japanese wrestlers could, they could be big stars in a wrestling. They could come to WWE and win. Even not even Japanese wrestlers. Maybe, from absolutely anywhere in the world. They can kind of see Shinsuke Nakamura kind of as this pillar, kind of as this role model of you can come to WWE and establish, gold. So, WWE obviously is going to be more of an international kind of spectrum headed into the WWE Netflix era. So, once again, a huge win for Shinsuke Nakamura. And also the winners, I think everybody who participated in this Intercontinental Championship match kicked ass. Sheamus looked a little gassed at the end, but still, as an older wrestler, he looked great. Braun Breaker looks phenomenal. top prospect, nothing's really changed. Ludwig Kaiser, that top bad guy. There was a point in the match where Braun Breaker and Sheamus were both trying to take him out, maybe because they know that he's a threat. He's young, he's sporadic, he's also very. If you turn your back on Ludwig Kaiser, he's going to kick your ass. He's going to kick your ass. He's going to find a way to win, obviously coming off of the branches of Gunther's teaching. So, I feel like everybody was a winner in this match, but that was me 1,010%. Losers during WWE Survivor Series, I got to be honest, Raquel Rodriguez, once again, but then again, this might be more of a personal reason. I feel like Raquel Rodriguez coming back to the WWE, I thought she was going to come back more as kind of solidifying herself in the main event picture once again. But now she kind of seems like just like that lackey dog of, Liv Morgan. She loses the match at WWE WarGames. During the WarGames match, she had some decent spots. But during most of the match, she just seemed like, I don't know. It just, it's not the Raquel Rodriguez that I hoped to see coming back from that injury. Obviously, her coming back from that injury is complete. It's awesome. Totally throwing my support to her there. But maybe it's just me. Maybe I just wanted to see more from Raquel Rodriguez. Candice LeRae, the inaugural WWE Women's Speed Champion, loses the match. Her first ever loss at WarGames. Now she's 2-1. I hate the fact that she doesn't come out repping that Women's Speed Championship. I definitely think that hurts the division more than helps it. Finn Balor. I got to be honest, Finn Balor for me, total loser. Although he did come out and he cost Damian Priest that championship, I gotta be honest, maybe you can kind of throw Damian Priest in this picture as well, because I feel like Damian Priest, he lost his rematch. Now he has to start from the absolute bottom, and there's so many names that would come before a second reign of Damian Priest. You would have names like CM Punk, Seth Rollins, hell, maybe even Bronson Reed to win the World Heavyweight Championship before he would ever get a second reign again. So, Lord only knows when Damian Priest is going to get back into that picture. And Finn Balor, he says he's not chasing gold. He says right now in his career he's not all about chasing gold. He was the inaugural, WWE Universal Champion. He's been an NXT World Champion. He's been tag teamed. Like, he says he's good. It's what you create from that. That's the only thing that... maybe this is once again like a Raquel Rodriguez thing where I want to see better for Finn Balor. I feel like he can be better. And I feel like during, when he came back from the injury from to begin with, when Finn Balor was still that babyface, where he would do the Demon King thing once in a while, he should have made it back to superstardom. Obviously, didn't. Ended up going back to WWE NXT. But I don't know. I just don't feel it's good for Finn Balor. I feel like ultimately it's not good for his spot. Solo Sikoa is the last loser I got here. Total momentum killer. I thought ultimately this should have been a huge W for this new young bloodline to establish themselves as the champions. As Solo Sikoa being the rightful owner of the Ulafala, being the tribal chief, And now Solo Sikoa does what Solo Sikoa does. He lost. Before he challenged Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship, he really had no business doing so. He's been, out of the past couple of years, I think he's only won 4 to 6 matches. And once again, obviously WWE booking, I get it and stuff like that. But this match was a huge loss for Solo Sikoa, I thought, to kind of ultimately solidify this young bloodline of being serious. I thought, I thought they should have picked up the victory here. All right, guys, so we do not go anywhere. We took a little longer on those 3 segments, so we're going to try to get through this lickety-split. We got our WWE WarGames injuries. We're going to talk about all the bad of WarGames when we come back. So, hey, do not go anywhere.